The most important thing in real estate is to know that the people you're working with, or the people you're like, literally, we're like myself working with Gregg. It's about integrity. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You have, because you're essentially giving someone full reign and access to your property. So when we're working with these management companies and we're working with these owners, New York City residential laws are 100% in favor of the tenants, even if the tenants are at fault for not paying, choosing to not pay, moving in, doing whatever they want. Yeah. And housing court is almost always not going to allow these people to be removed, because where are they going to go? Then the government still, has to get involved, find placement, shelters,
and then
things
you add
like
in that whole COVID aspect.
Yeah, then you add the COVID aspect of it. It's crazy.
It just started, right? You could just start. There's an attorney I work with. He owns a condo, and he was about to evict a tenant because she hasn't paid in like 6 months. Got to the thing, just about to get it signed. COVID hits, stuck. Yeah. Hasn't been able to get her out. That's a year and a half, right? And now this just starts that clock of like, now we can try to evict her again.
Is there a coming doom?
Oh yeah, no, that's it already hit. Like January was the mark on that, when they finally opened the courts. I mean, but it's still so backlogged. And stuff.
It's going to be. It could be another year probably, right, before people get evicted.
Yeah. Now, does that affect people buying property? They're like, I'm not even trying to deal with this, because if it's backed up for the people who already have and are now dealing with this, imagine if I buy something now. If I get into a problem, the courts ain't gonna holler at me for another 2-3 years.
I have guys that, when they passed these rent laws like 2 years ago, 2019, they made a lot of changes. They made all these like kind of, I mean, it sounds good in a way, but that's the essence of government, right? It's always like there's an element of trying to help somebody, and then there's always this element of, oh shit, I didn't think about that, but yeah, we just screwed you, buddy. Suck it up, Right. So it's.
What were some of the changes not to put it on the spot, but like what were some of the changes they had made? Because it seems like it's already tenant friendly. So
I'll take over on this one, because I do a lot of the rental stuff. So one of the big things that they took away was additional rent and security. So before, you would pay like first and last month's rent and then 1 month security.
Right.
But if your credit wasn't great, you can pay 2 months, 5 months, 6 months. International students, or people that don't have credit, or people that are new to the States, they can typically pay a year's worth of security. Damn. Yeah,
so you pay the year up front.
Yeah, you do a year up front of rent and 6 months of security. So you're talking about a lot of money
right up front.
But here's the issue: security is held in an escrow account, so you don't get that money back. So if you pay them 6 months of security and you're living there for 2 years, and at the end of those 2 years you want to renew, they're keeping that they're keeping your 6 months of security. So people are trying to get some of that money back. Some management companies will issue money back. They'll keep maybe a month or 2 months. But a lot of other management companies weren't. And then some management companies were taking money, doing certain things. Right. There's a lot of weirdness that kind of goes on in the city. And that's why it's important to work with people that know what they're doing and know the management companies they're bringing you to. Because if you don't, you could end up either losing a lot of money, or you could end up in a situation where, you move into a building that's bankrupt. You can move into a bankrupt building and you won't even know the water gets shut off. You know what I mean? Wow. Or like people move into buildings where they have all kinds of issues with the elevators. You know what I mean? And you're not researching the building code. You're not researching how many times that building's had 311 called on them. And then you step into the elevator and you fall into the shaft. These are things that have actually happened. In New York City.
When they call you guys anyway. So they
yeah, absolutely. But it's
protected from the system.
It's really important that you know who you're working with and that they have credit. That's why anytime somebody works with me and they're like, what can I do? I'm like, aside from telling everyone that I'm the best person you ever worked with, go to Yelp and give me a 5-star review on Yelp, because people care about stuff like that. They're like, oh my God, because I think online rating is kind of biased, because I can have all you guys be my homies and just give me a whole bunch of 5 stars, right? But I think Yelp, if people really go to Yelp, and even if it seems biased, people just go by it. So
Yelp is biased.
Yeah,
Yelp
I think
sucks,
that's
like
what I'm saying.
But not if it's like a full dissertation of a comment.
But they they back like all the Yelper, the fucking one that makes the most noise and throws the most crap at everybody. That's the guy. Oh, we'll boost him up. Yeah.
So there's a lot of things. You know what I mean? There's like things like the 1031 exchange. which is something that a lot of investors like to work with. It's something that allows them to defer capital gains tax, and they can basically reinvest into a new property. Then they can depreciate that property over a certain amount of years and have additional tax write-offs and things like that. I mean, there's a lot that goes
one
into
didn't
that.
change.
Yeah.
That's on the table. They've been talking about that. Like a lot of the stuff in the city, it was just like he was saying, it's security deposits. You're limited to 1 month, first month's rent, 1 month security now, which is great for most people. But
Right.
those, so we got like foreign nationals coming in and like, you have no credit. I have no way to chase you if you don't pay this.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what are we gonna do? Like, no, you can't move in here. I'm sorry.
Denied.
Get out.
Yeah.
So, but you have those people now that like, what do you do with them?
Yeah.
So it's
Can't do
there's
Airbnb.
always something.
Right.
The Airbnb laws changed in the city. Now, when you rent a place, you get that rider with your lease that says you're not going to Airbnb your apartment.
There's
You know,
no
because of
Airbnb
liability.
in New York City at all now?
You must own
Well,
the property, and then even the certain types of property, you still can't do certain types of Airbnb in general. Yeah,
Depending on location.
No subleasing.
yeah.
That's all.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's a whole bunch of rules.
Yeah, that one kind of went crazy. That's been in and out of courts for better part of a
Sublease is
decade
always an
now.
issue.
But it's also, that's also fueled by the hotel organization.
Exactly,
Like,
'cause they want that
They don't
hotel
want that
tax.
shit rocking, bro, because
Yeah.
they're like, right now, I want to charge you $300 a night for my
Yeah,
little ass
yeah,
room.
yeah.
You want that? That's fucking.
The Hilton
Yeah,
wants
because
their money.
it's all lobbyists, man. It's all lobbyists,
Yeah, yeah.
man. Like, they'd rather put $1 billion in 1 year to convince this lobbyist to make sure that these dudes pass this or don't pass it, and then make that money from hotels in the next 2 years.
And
They'll make $4 billion in the next 2 years.
The
You know what I'm
city's
saying?
also collecting the hotel tax on that
Right,
too, so they're
exactly.
incentivized
So,
as
yeah.
well to make money. So yeah, there's.
All right.